Hi, this is Sally Morgan and Tristan Corgi. I'm a physical therapist, craniosacral therapist, and Tellington Tea Touch practitioner for animals and people. This is Tristan, he's a Corgi, and we're here for an episode of Conversations with a Corgi. And we are going to try to redo what we started this morning. The internet connection has been poor and kept dropping, and I don't really know what happened. But today I wanted to talk about a study I heard about on the radio early this morning, which woke me straight up. And there's a woman who's a famous researcher of babies. Doing research on humans is quite difficult. You have to get permission. You can't harm them. So she is well known for doing research with babies and doing it in innovative ways to make amazing discoveries without harming anyone and keeping everybody safe and happy. So she had a new study come out where they put babies strapped to their mom with a kid facing out, and one of those like snuggly things where you're holding the kid against your chest. Just standing on my shirt tail and pulling my shirt. Weird. All right, so anyway, the moms and the babies then did bouncing up and down together while they were listening to Twist and Shout. And then a stranger the baby didn't know, or the mom, stood in front of the baby and bounced with the mom and the baby up and down, up and down. So they then took the babies and put them in a high chair and had that same stranger try to do a task to see what the babies would do. So the stranger was trying to either draw a picture with a marker or throw like a wadded up ball of paper into a cup. And what they discovered was that if the person tried really hard and struggled and acted like they couldn't reach the pen or something, that the baby that they had been bouncing with reached out and tried to help them and looked concerned that they were unable to do their task because they were trying to make it fun for the baby. So the other group did the bouncing, but the person bouncing with the baby, the stranger, did it out of sync. Jumped twice, jumped up, down, stood around, jumped twice, jumped up, down, and meanwhile the baby's doing a rhythmic up and down to Twist and Shout on his mom. So the implications of this are very interesting because then the one where the person was not in synchrony with the baby made very little attempts to help them when they were struggling to reach the pen or the piece of paper or the magic marker. And that was profound to see that being in synchrony with someone helps improve your desire to want to participate with them and to want to help them. And then they tried the same thing with like music from nature. And they had waterfall sounds and birds tweeting, and the moms were jumping with the babies, and the stranger was jumping with the babies, and they were doing it in sync and out of sync. And they found in both groups that the babies were crying and cranky and very upset. And they weren't sure why, but to me this makes perfect sense. If you're listening to waterfalls and birds tweeting, you want to relax. You don't want to be jumping up and down. Those kids were saying, wait a minute, it's nap time, put me down. I want to listen to the music. But that's not what they thought. So, and they found in that case that the kids were so fussy they couldn't finish the rest of the test. So what this speaks to is what we know well in the animal world from the HeartMath Institute. And I just reposted a couple of days ago my talk about heart coherence. And this idea of synchrony and syncing up with someone has to do with the studies they've done at the HeartMath Institute. There's actually an app for your phone from the HeartMath Institute where it shows like a little red line going up and down. You put your finger over the camera on your phone. I wonder if I have it on my old phone. I could actually even show it. And then you synchronize your breathing with the little red line on the phone. It's not on my old phone. It's on my new phone, so you can't see it. But you synchronize your breathing, and it slows your heart rate, slows your breathing, keeps it absolutely symmetrical. You're breathing in for the same amount of time you're breathing out, which is not what most of us normally do. And it really drops you into a deeper state of being and into what some people call your heart space. And what's great about this is that people have been using this app when they're riding their horses and they're walking their dogs to bring themselves into a deeper place and to find heart coherence with their dogs and their horses. And it works. Animals want to be with you when you're in heart coherence. And what happens, with the animals, the horses are much bigger than us and their heartbeat's much slower. This guy is much littler than me and his heartbeat's much faster than mine. And so we'll still be in synchrony while I'm doing that slow breathing. He might be having 2 heartbeats for every 1 of mine, and my horse might be having 1 heartbeat for every 2 of mine. But we're still in sync. It's like, tapping your foot with music, and somebody else is doing 1, 2, but maybe somebody that has a faster part in the piece is going 1, 2, 1, 2, because they're tapping for the upbeat as well as the downbeat. And so that's how you get in heart coherence with an animal. And I find this so interesting because I just did my talk on Sunday reading a story about my mom and the thoroughbred. And one of the things I mentioned in that story was how in the afternoon when we were walking around, we were a very coherent group. We were eating lunch together. Everybody knew each other. We all liked each other. It was a very relaxed atmosphere. And as the people were leading the horses around, the horses' footsteps were synchronized with the horse behind them. And part of that was none of the people were nervous. There was no judgment. People were calm. They were all in their heart space, slow rhythmic breathing. There was no right or wrong in what they were doing. And that calmed them down. The horses were calm. And we were like this one unit dancing together during that exercise. And so that synchrony can go through me and my own animal or out to a group. And I've even seen this when I have the last day of my craniosacral classes. We have a person with an animal, 25 people in a room, all doing the 10-step protocol together simultaneously. We're all doing each piece of it all at the same time on all different species. And dogs, cats, rabbits generally. Sometimes we have somebody bring a guinea pig. But what happens is after that we take the group picture, and because everybody's in synchrony and in their heart coherence, there's no snarking, there's no dog that doesn't like other dogs barking, there's no dog that chases cats trying to get the cat next to him. Everybody's in this very deep, peaceful space. And part of that's from the work of doing cranial work and receiving it if you're the pet. But it's all getting back to that idea of heart coherence and that synchrony, which this woman has studied just with simple bouncing with this baby. So one of the things we do in T-Touch classes, more with horses than with dogs, to get a sense of what's going on with your own horse's gait, you'll have someone lead the horse, and you will walk next to them and put your own steps going at the same time as the horse's hind legs. And you'll start to feel in your body, if you have any kind of body awareness, and some people don't because of their life and their job, but mostly you will start to feel, oh, I'm standing on my right leg a little longer than the left, and oh, he's not pushing off so quick with that one. And you start to feel the gait of your horse when you walk in synchrony with him. So we do this as a way to see what's going on with their gait, and we can also do that with their front legs. But it's also a fun thing to do when you're just leading your horse, to make your legs sync up with his legs and walk in harmony with your animal. And you can do the same thing with your dog. Now, my legs are 36 inches long. This guy's, he's short. Look at that, maybe 7. Sorry, Biscuit. I don't know. How long are your legs really? Maybe 6 inches, 7 inches. So he's really short. So I find when we're walking, especially when we're going faster, that he is able to do an even number of steps synced up with my one big step, and we stay perfectly next to each other. And he's smiling and happy when that happens, and I can really feel the difference myself. So be really aware of how you are with your animals and try to find this synchrony that this person has researched, because that is so innate in us that it makes us want to cooperate with a stranger when we do that synchronized bouncing. And you can do synchronized walking or trotting with your animals to get that same effect. And we want them to do what we want them to do with us, right? We want to have a good time with them. We want to take a nice walk with them. We want to maybe go over a T-Touch confidence course together with them. And so this idea of being in synchrony is very important. It's very important to our work with animals and getting a good connection with them. And I think what this woman's research has shown us is really profound. And I think I said in the earlier version of this, which I'm not sure I'll leave up, I might delete it, there's more information there than what I've said today, certainly, and this is the complete thoughts of the whole thing. But I said that I should have been a researcher, but I don't have the right kind of personality to do that. I need to know somebody who's very methodical and wants to do research, because it wouldn't take very much to take the same idea that this woman used with these babies to recreate that same kind of study with a dog, for instance, to do something in synchrony with the dog and then see what the response is on the other side in terms of them cooperating with you in some way. And dogs, of course, try so hard to cooperate with us all the time, and we don't always listen to them as well as we should. So that is my tip today for you. Try to find that heart coherence with your animal, that synchrony. That is the magic that connects us to them and them to us. And that is a really important thing to practice. And you're lucky if you have a big dog. I know one of the things I said this morning was that my mom weighs about 100 pounds and she loves big dogs. And a big dog of 75 pounds, we haven't had too many that big in our family, but we had some big Dobermans. Their heart rate's going to be almost the same as my mom's. And so it's really interesting what draws us to certain animals. And it makes a big difference. And I know that one of the things my sister loves is the snoring of her cavaliers at night when she's sleeping. And just synchronizing her breathing with their breathing is beneficial to everyone in that space. So think about that idea of synchrony with your animal today when you're riding your horse or walking your dog or just having your dog snoring next to you, because it really can improve your connection with them. So thanks for joining us for this revised edition, since the internet was cranky this morning. It seems to be cranky often at 10 minutes of 9. I don't know what's going on out in the world at 10 minutes of 9, but it seems to happen. And I also get some weird phone call whenever I go to teach yoga at the Veterans Hospital that it never has anyone there. They never leave a message. There's just these strange electrical things I can't explain. So thanks for joining us today. Everybody have a great day. We will not be here tomorrow because I'll be at my job as an educator, and they might need me in on Thursday as well. So you might not hear from us till Friday. And we certainly have much more to talk about with ticks. And also, Linda Tellington at 10 this morning Pacific time is doing a live talk on Tellington T-Touch Worldwide, I think it is, about energy in T-Touch. And that's going to be a really exciting thing. And I will post it, of course, when it's done recording. But if you want to join us live, it's a fun thing. I think it's 2 o'clock Eastern time. All right. Thanks for joining us. Everybody have a great day. Stay safe in this band of storms. They showed like 4 inches of hail. It was like snow in Colorado. Oh, the cold weather just doesn't want to move out and leave us alone with summer and spring. And Tristan's wearing his cute bandana we got somewhere from some Corgi person. It's got Corgis on it. It's adorable. Thank you, whoever made this. I think it might have been Josie. All right, we'll see you soon. Thanks for joining us. Everybody have a good day.